your host, Cowboy and Spade.
What is going on, folks? Welcome back. It's been a while since you've seen the two hosts with the most, the cowboy.
Hey, y'all know.
Yeah, they loving us. Hell yeah. Look, it's been a while since we've been with you guys, so there's quite a bit to talk about. We even got some big news, I think, something that I really want to talk to you about and get your opinion on. And we might actually start the show with it because I think there's a lot more to it than what's being said. And I'd love to get your opinion on this. So I think we might actually start it out with that. And then we're going to go back to the Parker Wardley fight, and we're kind of move forward from there. Do some quick reviews on those fights that we saw over the last month of boxing, because this Saturday, of course, we got an amazing card going on Saturday. Some really big fights, uh, all on the same card, so you won't have to flip back and forth like you normally do. It's all going to be right there for you this weekend, and we'll get into that. But first things first, man. Jake Paul, Tank Davis was supposed to happen November 14th, which would have been last weekend. That fight didn't happen. It was canceled. Uh, and according to what Jake Paul said, it was because I guess Tank Davis either got another domestic violence charge or case, or something happened in that realm, right? And we know he's had that in the past, domestic violence, stuff like that, that he's been going through in the past. Uh, but Jake Paul said, "Well, I can't promote women, and then him do something like that, and then me keep him on my platform, all this other kind of stuff." But he already had that kind of reputation before Jake Paul even decided to sign a contract with him for a fight. So he
Right,
knew that side of him. So now, for me, that's a cop out, and
mhm.
I didn't really think much about it. But besides, okay, weird. Maybe that's he doesn't want to be associated with it. Whatever. Fight was canceled. Then I watched a video, and the dude said, "Go look at that first presser they had, and really watch that presser, because the whole time Tank is calling him out about shit, calling people out, and like he had dude ask something about something, like he just the way, like, almost like Tank wasn't going along with Jake's script of,
Yeah,
you know, like,
yeah.
well, you let's go along with the script, let's play this out, and Tank wasn't doing that. And when you think about it more, I'm like, was Jake Paul afraid that, one, Tank's not going to go with this script, two, he going to come in and knock my ass out? So I thought that, but then he signed another fight deal, which makes me think, if he was afraid to get knocked out by that dude, you're definitely gonna, like, what do you think Joshua's gonna do to you, anyways? But what do you think about the cancellation of that fight? Am I looking too far into it? Is it what Jake says? Were you kind of confused when you heard that fight was canceled? Especially Tank, he put a lot into this, didn't take the Roach fight. What's this do to him? And do you think he gets blackballed by other boxers, or is his name too big? And will he continue to fight?
I don't think he could get blackballed. That's take his name big, but it's a setback, major setback for him, just his boxing career because it's like everybody moving forward now. Like
Hmm.
so, it's like Roach moving forward now. He going up to 140.
Yep.
Shakur, he moving forward now. He going up to 140 to fight Tiafimo. So it's
Yep.
like ain't nobody really looking forward, looking the guys that was there is no longer there. So it's
Yeah.
like, what you gonna do? Move up to 140? Then it's gonna be like now Tank is chasing these guys, and I don't know, man. I don't know what Tank gonna do, bro. But I could see it seemed like these two fights that supposed to happen into Tiafimo and Shakur and the Lamont Roach and
Cruz. Oh, Cruz.
Cruz is gonna lead up supposed to lead up to Shakur fighting Lamont Roach. I think that's what it's gonna lead up to.
You think
If
those two?
if it if it's supposed to go how it's supposed to go. But Dr. Tank, it's like them two guys that you was supposed or should have fought is moving on. Like they ain't sticking around. Like
No.
you in boxing, you can't. You got to take that opportunity when you get that opportunity. Not saying Tank, but I'm saying for them guys, Shakur and
Yeah.
Rooks, because they still trying to. Even though Shakur is stable, he's still trying to bring more fans, more people to him. So and then Lamont Roach trying to do the same thing. So they can't just sit and wait for Tank. So it's like, what Tank gonna do? Who could he fight next? Who would he fight next? I
Yeah,
mean,
because
he could if Kia Austin was to do something, then yeah, he could fight him. People will watch that if
yeah,
but it's like, damn, like what you
as
gonna do
far as
though?
the
Like
money though,
where is you at mentally though? Like is you
yeah.
still in it boxing wise, or is you like fuck it? Like who knows? Like
Yeah, because
Jake Paul,
I think he was ready to check out after the Jake Paul fight.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think, and the more you look at that interview, I really don't think he was going to go. He was going in there to try to hurt Jake Paul, and I think he was going to
yeah,
do it. I think he did to Ryan Garcia, come over the fucking top and lay him out.
yeah.
And he was going to
And
lay him out.
then
I'd have loved to seen it.
it's like Jake Paul, you fucked up a whole bag because you talking about this man' personal life or worried about what he got going on. First of all, he ain't been found guilty of nothing, and that he being sued. It ain't like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah, okay, yeah,
and then it's like, what they got to do with you and what y'all got going on. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you should have used that to bring more and more shit
yeah, yeah,
promotion. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So far as you going, he went in too personal. Like, oh, like, bro, you ain't got to do that, bro, because you got shit on your name. So, like, you should never drag a man while he down. Like, no
Well,
matter
especially when
black,
you
white.
already knew his past. You knew
Yeah,
his past. You knew what he was been accused of or whatever had happened in his past. Like you said, you don't
yeah,
bring that up, and you accepted that in the beginning. Okay, what it is, and like you said, you could have used that to sell the fight even more. Like
yeah,
look, and he beat women, but
yeah,
he can't be a real man or some shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Use that shit
Anything.
in your advantage. And then like you said, it wasn't another charge. It was just a girl that didn't press charges and now suing him, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Or
So
so,
suing.
I
So
don't, it's something like that. I really don't know. I really ain't even looking into it. Like, cause I'm kind of salty as Tank is looking at him like a little brother. Like, why you keep putting yourself in this situation? Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, don't
yeah,
never put yourself in a situation where you gotta hurt a woman or a woman can hurt you. Like, just
yeah,
leave that shit
exactly.
alone.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
you got to
saying?
walk away. You got to
You a face. Like, you got people that look up to you and all that, and you represent a brand, your family. Like, bro, you gotta move a little
Well, I
different,
mean,
bro.
and especially with Tank, like you said, he's got that name, he's got money, so you don't think if other dudes out there know that you can let a woman get under your skin like that, what clown out there is going to be like, I'm gonna start a fight with this dude in a
Yeah,
club or something, I'm assuming I'm gonna get him to
yeah,
punch me and get out of hand, and then
yeah.
I'm like, you got to be able to control that a little bit better.
But
Uh,
his emotions would be crazy though, because and that's something I ain't gonna say I don't like. That's just something I take notice of, and he's very like he don't like nobody to talk about him. Like that's how like with Shakur, which I understood the shit with Shakur because Shakur was basically like he's scared of fighting. Like Tank was scared to fight Shakur after you just came in his locker room and took a picture with him. So I kind of understand Tank. Like, damn, you just took a picture with me. You could at least say you want to fight me, or I hope me and him could get it in one day. It'd be a
yeah,
big fight. Not that another man's scared of you. Y'all both do the same sport. I mean,
exactly.
some people probably might be like, "Damn, it's gonna be a tough fight or a hard fight," but I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure he ain't scared of you now. Come on
yeah,
now,
yeah. You do.
y'all don't
Yeah.
spar before, like you know what I mean.
Mhm.
So it's like I understand that part of how he was feeling, but at the same time. Tank can't let this shit. It's boxing, bro. This what you signed up for, bro. Like this would come with it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, which I ain't really never really seen Tank like call nobody out. I really seen people call out fighters for Tank. Have you ever noticed that in his career? He never really called nobody out. People called out the people to fight for Tank, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
crazy. Like he never been like, oh yeah, I want him next or him next. You know what I mean? He ain't never really said that. He let the
Yeah, he hasn't. He's never called
yeah,
a even at the end of a fight. He's not like, well, me and me can get it on next.
yeah,
He's just
yeah,
like, whatever. Line
yeah,
'em up, I'll fight them. No matter
yeah,
who they are, just put them in the ring and we'll fight.
yeah.
He's been nonchalant, but and that's what like he's always say he's not a fan of boxing. He's not a fan. He
Yeah,
doesn't really watch it when he's not buying. He does not pay attention to the sport. Never been a real big fan, and I think this Jake Paul fight was his out. I'm gonna get paid and I'm done with the
yeah,
sport of boxing. Now I think he's got to go back to the drawing board and be like, damn, now how can I recoup this major loss? How can I recoup that money that I would have made from that fight? Uh,
right.
Even if it was a clown show and like people didn't respect it, it didn't matter what they respected. He was going to get paid at the end of the day. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but I just thought, man, that was crazy to watch. But then Jake Paul goes and signs a fight with Anthony Joshua. Now, let me tell you what I think my real theory is. The real theory is he originally wanted Anthony Joshua because he tried to make a fight with Anthony Joshua.
Before Tank.
And then
Yeah,
Anthony Joshua said, I'm not going to fight till 2026 when I come back. So that fight didn't go through. But then, out of nowhere, immediately after canceling the fight with Tank, not even a few days later, Anthony Joshua pops back up in the conversation, and then a week later, the fight signed set for December 14th, already ready to go. So I think it was that type of thing where he said, you know what, he would take one fighting a 135er when you're 215
yeah,
people were it that wasn't gonna end good for him regardless. If he got knocked out, it was damn you got knocked out by a little dude. And then if
yeah.
he knocked him out, well, oh, you just picking on the small dudes. So it was almost like not a win-win for him, really. And then, like I said, Tank wasn't gonna go along with the script. Tank doesn't try to sell fights. That's not who he is. Like he's not gonna out there and dance for you and get and promote the fight for you. Uh, you know what I mean? He'll show up at the presser half the time with headphones on. You know what I mean? Not listening to shit that people even say and does his own
Right.
thing. So I think the fight wasn't selling the way he thought it was gonna sell. And then when the Anthony Joshua opportunity came back, he said, all right, well, this gives me an opportunity to set this Tank fight to the side. It ain't selling, it ain't doing what I thought it was going to do, and I'm going to have to pay this dude more money than what this fight's going to, you know, get in return, in my opinion. And the Anthony Joshua fight seems like a more realistic fight to me.
But I
You know,
don't think, yeah, it seems, but I don't think it's going to attract the same attention that him and Tank was going to attract. And I think what threw it off was the Friday. That Friday shit kind of threw it off
yeah,
because it was too many losses into the fight. Like, oh, we got to fight on a Friday. What's in there? They ain't signing off on it, so we got to move it to Miami. Like, it was just
yeah,
so much
yeah.
shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
now I wonder if it goes. Now I heard it is going to stay in Miami, the Joshua fight. So I'm surprised they didn't try to go back to Atlanta with it because I'm sure Atlanta would have probably said, "Yeah, we'll let you fight."
Yeah, but
Joshua,
it, wa-
different in
they,
size.
it was different because Atlanta, because Tank was gonna bring out the people in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Joshua and Jay Paul ain't really bringing nobody out in no Atlanta. I ain't
No,
gonna lie to
and
you.
maybe even not in Miami. I mean, because
Yeah,
Tank's
yeah,
known
like
in the U.S. Joshua's not really known in the U.S. like
yeah.
Tank is. Like
That's what
Tank,
I'm
you
saying.
Miami
Like
people know
it wasn't
boxing.
gonna be the same attraction. It's not the same attraction. I don't care what nobody say. It's not the same attraction. Now,
I think the only attraction to it is the fact that the size. He's finally going to
yeah,
fight
that's the
that
only
ain't
thing about it. Yeah,
way smaller. He's a
yeah.
big dude. He a heavyweight. Like it's like to me, I think that could draw more people because people want to see this guy that getting. I don't care who you are. People want to see Jake Paul get knocked the fuck out. And we
Hmm.
saw what Anthony Joshua did to Ngannou. And it's like we would love. I think a lot of people would love to see that same thing happen. And people who don't follow boxing didn't understand that Tank could have knocked Jake Paul out easily. He's
Yeah,
small, but that dude packs a fucking punch. That's why they call him Tank. But I don't. I
yeah,
think in people's mind, all they saw is when they line up, is
Yeah.
the size difference in these two guys, and they're
But
like,
it's
look,
damn near the same way now. Like
no
with
chance.
Joshua and him. Joshua's tiring over dude.
Yeah, well,
Like,
Joshua's like 6'7". I think Paul's
yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. It's the same shit in reverse. Like, and it
yeah,
ain't
yeah,
no way. It ain't no way he should beat Joshua. Like, if
no, no, no,
you
he
know, if
definitely.
he beat Child Joshua, this shit's just script, bro. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
completely.
and maybe, and that's exactly what I said because why, like, because Eddie Spicer on our bourbon and boxing group, where I said, uh, the shit situation with Tank, and, probably not going along with the script, and he was like, yeah, but y'all forget he lost Tommy Fury. I guess Tommy Fury didn't go along with the script either. I said he probably didn't because he's never rematched Tommy Fury,
Yeah,
and if you lose to somebody you usually want to run it back, especially if it's like 2 or 3 fights down the road, and you're on a streak. You usually want to run that loss back. So maybe
yeah.
Tommy Fury didn't go along with that bullshit either, and said, "Nah, bro, we're gonna get in the ring. We're gonna do it the real way. If I beat you, I beat you. You beat me. I'm not scripting shit." And I don't know Joshua, even with he might because he is a boxer, and I feel like he would have too much pride to really take a dive. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I don't
And
know, man. Where he at with his career, he probably
where
would take a dive.
with his
It ain't like it's gonna hurt him. Know what I mean? Like
well,
it
I know
won't
he's
hurt him.
because the zone gave him the opportunity because he runs with the zone and Eddie Hearns and all that, so they had to release him just for him to be able to go to the net, do the thing with Netflix, but he's going right back to the zone, so he wants to continue boxing. So to me, the only way that happens, you can't lose to Jake Paul if you want to continue to box. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you ain't gonna get like that. Nobody's
I
gonna
ain't
take.
gonna worry he should lose to no fucking Jake Paul, man. I don't care what nobody say. He should not lose to no fucking Jake Paul, bro. Like Jake Paul should have fought like a Deontay Wilder or something. Then Anthony Joshua got a little bit more skills. He bigger. He literally turned over dude. Like, man, he gonna be bullying him in there. Like he ain't big enough. Like, come on,
Yeah,
man.
he gonna use that
Stop it.
jab and reach and that overhand that he
Then
hit.
he talking about he could have fought Terrence Crawford. He ain't want to wait. Man, Terrence gonna beat the fuck out of you, boy. Like literally.
I
Terrence
don't think.
Crawford ain't gonna and Terrence Crawford ain't about to play with you and he's not
Yeah,
about to go in here. Dude too competitive. He like to compete. Like he's not about to go in here and be like, oh, I'm gonna take a dive. Like
yeah,
I don't see Tank was about to do no shit like that either.
no,
So
and I think that's what a lot of thing. Like when that video, I think it's on our Bourbon and Boxing group page. Check it out there. I haven't seen you on Facebook. I try to message you on there, and I ain't see you on there at all.
yeah, I
Uh,
ain't on there at all.
I, was
Yeah.
like, I saw a Facebook user. I was like, was that our comment? And I was like, yeah, that was a conversation between Spade.
Yeah,
I knew it
yeah.
was like, yeah, he ain't on there no more. But yeah, I can't get back in my Instagram right now. It keeps saying send this code to me, and then it doesn't accept the code. And that was like a month ago. I was like, fuck that. I ain't even trying to fuck with that. I just make a new one or some bullshit. But
Yeah.
yeah, so but I don't know, man. I don't think like guy was saying on the video it made a lot of sense. Like he was calling Jake out a lot in that presser on his bullshit, his scripted bullshit, how he scripts his how look, you paying this dude to come up here and ask you these lame ass fucking questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is like he paid you, bro. Like, and then one of the guys that he has on his team is a former boxer. I think he was in Tank's camp at one point as a sparring partner with Tank, and Tank was calling him out like, "You a sellout? Like, look at you, you getting paid by Jake just to be in there in the ring and shit like that." But was calling a lot of people out, and then they made that big bet, and Tank was like, "Shit, I'll bet you 5 million." You know what I mean? But
Did you see when Shakur went to the cat?
with Jake Paul,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
they
like, come on. I'm like, come on now, Shakur, man. Come on.
Crawford went in there with him too. Was hanging out with him, and Crawford's like, "Oh, Tank." And he was like, "He's a big dude. Like he got a harder punch than what people realize." Crawford was talking about it, saying he got a harder punch than what people realize, and he's big. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, but I still don't. Like I said, like I just can't take him serious. You don't fight actual boxers. You fight dudes that aren't even in. Like you're not even in the weight division. Like if he would have after a few of those circus fights, he would have been like, all right, I'm gonna go into the cruiserweight, or I'm gonna go into, light heavyweight or something like that, and moved his way up. I could have respected that a little bit more, but you know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see what happens. The Joshua fight, December 14th, has been announced. It's gonna go on. Joshua has said, yeah, this fight's gonna happen. So that might be interesting because I think he's got an opportunity to get knocked out. So that might be the only reason I tune in.
I ain't gonna watch that bullshit.
But I was also hearing in other news, Terrence Crawford is in negotiations with Canelo Alvarez for a fight in May of next year, May 2026, and a rematch. And I think the only reason Crawford's doing it is out of respect to Canelo, to say, all right, you want a rematch? Cool, I'll give you a rematch out of respect to you. He doesn't have to do it. And I think a fight with Janabek at 160 and an opportunity to unify a fourth division would be more appealing than going back and fighting a guy that, that and Canelo. Like, of course, Canelo, the money, all that, but I think legacy wise, you already got the money with that Canelo fight. And then if you do the Canelo fight, Canelo ain't never the B side, right? He don't ever want to be the B side because he wants to make the most
Oh, it's
money.
gonna be the B side this time.
He would have to be. That's the only way I would take
Yeah.
it. Okay, we're gonna take it. But you're gonna be, and that's what Bivol told him. That's why he never rematched Bivol, because
Yeah.
Bivol said the same thing. Well, I beat you, so I'm the A side. I want my money for this fight because Bivol really didn't get a lot of money for the first fight against Canelo. But
Yeah.
he wanted to fight him again. But Bivol said, "Well, that's fine, but you're gonna pay me what I'm
Yeah.
worth. I'm the A side this time." And Canelo was like, "No, you're not. I'm the A side. I'm making that money." So he didn't really want to pay him. So if Canelo can't suck his pride up and decide that, hey, you are the B side in this fight, and pay Terrence what he deserves, then there's no reason for Crawford to take that. And then you go for
I don't even
legacy.
think we should take it anyway.
Nah,
Fucking
because I think 160 fits him better, and I think he can unify the 160 division. There's some good fighters down there, and Janabek and Carlos Adames, who
yeah.
he fight and unify that division. But and I like both of those fights for him. Carlos Adames, and I like Janabek for him a lot. But they were talking him and Janabek could fight after Janabek's. Janabek is fighting. It might be December, so it wouldn't have been until next year they fought anyway. So, but Terrence Crawford isn't going to fight this year or early in next year. I don't think, anyways. I think he would wait till mid 2026 to summertime maybe before he
Yeah.
fights again. But yeah, that's pretty much news wise. Of course, we do have Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez supposedly signed on to fight in January of 2026.
Right.
Supposedly, the fight's a done deal. It's been negotiated, been signed. So that would be an exciting fight. I like that fight a lot with him and Teo. Teo's an athletic dude, and he really shows up for the bigger fights. But this is
Yeah.
where you can, like, Shakur really has an opportunity here to set himself apart. Because if he can
Mm-hmm.
go in there and really put those skills to test and showcase those skills against a guy like Teo, then he can quiet a lot of people. And then I think he'll get on a bigger stage of, people not thinking he's a boring fighter and shit like this. And, oh, he's overrated. He doesn't, he's all defense, all that other bullshit. So I think this is a great fight for him to take. Uh, what's your thoughts on that one?
Dangerous. It's a
Dang,
great fight. Dangerous fight. I
yeah,
don't give a fuck with nobody. I used to fuck with Teo. I don't like him as a person no more, but he's still dangerous, bro. He
hmm
a dangerous motherfucker, man. Especially if he coming in tail, he
yeah,
dangerous.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Shakur,
And
I
that
like he see something.
move,
He see
and
Shakur, I like he see something in him. So
well,
I never seen either or really fight them them two styles. Like I never seen Teo fight a style like Shakur, and I never seen
yeah,
Shakur fight a
yeah,
style like Teo. So
yeah. How is that going to match up in the ring
yeah, like
with Simon?
how that's gonna go? Like
Because Shakur, we've seen him move, but he's not going to chase you around the ring. You know what I mean? And he's not going to be able to play the rope dope. He's not fighting Zapata, a heavy puncher. I mean, Teo's got a nice punch on him, but he's not like he's not going to just sit there and throw power punches on you. He's going to
Yeah.
try to wear you down by moving a lot and showcasing his skill. I think it's a hell of a fight. Hard to say who's going to win. I think that's absolutely a 50-50 fight. But I think it's a great opportunity for Shakur to really, if you want to set yourself up as being known, outside of, Terrence Crawford right now. We all know Terrence Crawford is here. Everybody else
So
is trying to follow
so
that.
say if either one of them was to win that fight, right? Who should they fight next? I got somebody in mind, but I'm gonna see if you say.
Let's see. Depends on what division we're talking about. Once Shakur goes to 140, is he ever going to go back to 135? That's the question. Because 135, I think, had that window for a lot of good fighters, but I feel like the 135 division
It's
has,
close, and it's for the young boys now.
yeah.
That's for the young boys now.
Yeah, it's for like Cruz, Murtala,
Yeah.
our boy Kid Austin, those guys for the younger guys.
Abdullah.
Abdullah, yep.
Yeah.
Uh, so and if I was him, I would have to say I'd have to. The biggest fight for him would be Tank at 140. Have Tank come to 140.
We ain't even talking about Tank. Leave Tank out of this. I thought you was gonna say somebody, but I'm gonna say Devin Haney.
I'd like it, but Devin moving up to 147. What's that? Devin moving up to 140. Uh, is he going to be able to go back down? Because he fought above one or moving to 147. He fought
No, that's
above.
what I'm saying. I'm saying Shakur go up to 147.
Ooh,
He talking about he'll go up to 154 to fight Conor Ben.
he's got the size of the guy. Talking Ben was being as hell. I'd love to see him.
You got it's back breaking up a little bit. It's back breaking up. Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can't hear you.
you can't hear me now.
What the hell is going on? I can hear you.
See,
Yeah,
can you
I
hear
know.
me?
Yeah, thing where I plug
Uh,
my charger in. But yeah, Ben was being a little disrespectful, in my opinion. Like he's like just because
to
he,
Shakur.
yeah. I mean, number one, Ben. I told you when was it? Over a year ago. I told you what I initially thought Eddie Hearn's whole plan was. He
Mm-hmm.
wanted to get Boots out of the 147, moving to 154, and he wanted to take Connor back down to 147 and make him unify that division because that's been his money thing for him is to get Connor Ben at that 147, but he didn't want Ben and Boots meeting up with each other at 147. So he did everything to avoid that fight. And then but Ben, I don't know, man. Like I'm 50-50 on Ben. Uh he does have some skills, but I like if we go into like the fight that just happened over the weekend, him and Eubanks. I don't know if you watched any of that fight, but
I didn't get to see it.
Eubanks was
He was
slow,
drained though. He looked like he was,
drained, bro,
bro.
drained
When
and
I
slow
seen
and
him, did you see him? When he had to lose weight, he was like in some type of bodysuit. He had like a heated suit. He had to lose a couple more pounds. I'm like, man, dude, draining himself. You could tell he was draining himself. Like
yeah,
he literally draining himself to fight you, bro. So,
yeah, and it was a last payday for him because Ben's kind of towards the our Eubank is kind of towards the end of his career. So I
yeah,
think, hey, this is a money fight, going to be my biggest money fight I can make against a guy like Ben because of the names and everything like that. But yeah, I think he was absolutely drained and he was slow as shit in this fight. The last fight, he at least showed he looked drained in the last fight, in the first fight that they did, but he had the effort there. This fight, he
uh,
was drained and just had no motherfucking effort at all. And of course, you had a younger, rejuvenated Ben. And he's not weight drained. He came in at 159. He was all over, and it wasn't even a close fight. So I think it made Ben look better than what I personally think Ben is. And I've been watching Connor Ben for about 3 years now, following him from over in the UK. Started watching him over there. Was impressed with what I kind of saw from him in the beginning, but then he had that steroid controversy when he was supposed
when he blew up. Yeah,
first time. Yeah,
when they fought the fight. Yeah,
yeah, and he was at 147 at that time.
yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. Like I think he's being a little disrespectful. If he went up to 147, I think it would be to try to take on Connor Ben. But do you think so? You're confident. What I'm taking is you're pretty confident that Haney's going to beat Brian Norman this weekend.
No, see, I ain't mean to say it like that. I didn't mean
Okay,
to say it.
okay,
I did want to give who I was gonna say away. So I want to say if this person win, I could see
okay.
Shakur. And I ain't want to say this person fighting this weekend because I ain't want to give you a clue because I wanted to see who you said. But we're gonna get to that. But nah, that ain't what I'm basically saying. I just ain't want to give up who I was talking about to
Yeah,
you. You know
okay.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
me, I just see as even with all the issues Tank's having right now and all that, I still think if you're Shakur Stevenson and you go in there and you put a show on against Teo and you really kind of make it a spectacle, or you even if you beat him in a decision or whatever, the biggest fight for him is Tank Davis. I think I just see that as still the biggest fight for him on the table. Uh, because he could either go back down to 135 or make Tank come to 140. I think Tank goes to 140 to fight him easily with no issues. But I don't know if he would put a what do you call that the clause on there to
Yeah.
basically where he couldn't get to a certain weight. I think it makes more sense for Stevenson to mess around with the 140 and 147 division. There's a lot of talent between both of those divisions. A lot of people that he could fight. He could even fight Rolly. If they beat Teo, why not fight Rolly at 147? You know what I'm
I
saying? Like
don't who.
Shakur.
I don't
Like
think he a fight. I don't really think he into fighting Roly though. I just don't think he into that. I will. Besides Tank, because we don't know, Tank might fight in 2 more years or be done.
yeah,
So
that's the
me,
only
I'm just saying, there's more people that he can fight, but I'm just saying like a draw fight. If Devin Haney was to win, would be him and Devin Haney, because like
I
who
can't
Devin.
disagree with that. I agreed that would be a hell of a fight. People would
And the
definitely
only reason I say that because he was talking about he'll fight Conor Bean at 154. So it's like if you fight Conor Bean at 154, he should be able to fight Devin at 147. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Oh,
So that's
I think if him and Connor fought, it'd be at 147. Connor's going to go back down.
nah. He said no. He said he'd go to 154 and fight Conor.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
Shakur
where
said
because
out his mouth. I don't see
yeah.
Conor Bean coming all the way back down to 147 for
He's
160.
gonna attempt to because when he after that Eubanks fight, he was talking about Barrios and he was talking about the 147 division. And Haney and Teo and these guys at 147, they can all get it. Basically was saying that. Like I said, I've been telling you for a year, Eddie Hearn's plans was to make him the 147 unified champion and move Boots up to 154.
He don't have a problem with that though. It ain't sweet. It ain't. He
I
probably
don't
can
think it's
become.
gonna be that
He
easy.
probably can become a champion fighting like Mario Barrios or
Yeah.
who else? Who else got a belt? I don't even know who else got a belt.
Ryan Norman's got the belt. I guess I don't know who's got Boots' belt because I don't know if
Yeah, Boots had the rest of the belt, but it
yeah
ain't
he had
gonna be no
two.
easy. It ain't gonna be no easy cakewalk. Like probably for with Mario Barrios and one of them, but
Yeah,
it's kind of 147 kind of weak. Like, and I
yeah,
feel like
it lost a lot of people, man.
I feel like that's why Devin kind of jumps up there, but he got to get past this test, like, because I think
Yeah,
if he do beat Brian Norman or the case may be, who the fuck is it to fight for him to fight? Everybody else going to be weak.
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
if Pacquiao's staying in it, that's a name. You know what I'm saying? And he would
That's
make
a
good,
name, but we talking about competition, right?
actually
Like it's a
good
name.
competitive fight, like with
Yeah,
the young boys. Nah, but as like if he was going for the money, then he would be like, all right, fuck it, let me fight Pacquiao. But I
yeah,
am
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
I am hearing that Ryan Garcia signed on to fight Barrios coming into the new year. That fight is signed on to happen January or February, something like that. So
Okay, so they trying to. Oh, okay. So now I see what they're trying to do.
maybe they
They're
can.
trying to. They're trying to make that rematch.
Yeah,
They're trying to make that rematch.
yeah,
But that shit might get. That plan might get.
he
We
might.
don't know. We got
It
to
might
get. We
be
got
Norman.
past Brian Norman. Like,
This is his biggest challenge. But before we go into that, let's jump back a couple weeks where we left off. We watched Boots Ennis do his thing at 154 for his first fight. Now, the level of competition, can't say I'm impressed with the guy that he was fighting, but he made it look easy. And now he's a talk at 154. And then we watched Virgil Ortiz a couple
go ahead.
weekends.
Go ahead. I
Uh,
hear you. I can see you. Go ahead.
we watched Virgil Ortiz handle Lubin. And honestly, I think the fight that should have happened, there shouldn't have been any delay. I think Virgil and Boots should have fought off the rip. And we kind of wasted our time with the Lubin fight and with the fight that Boots had when these two guys could have just fought each other. Uh, so for me, I think both fights were a waste of time in that we're going to get this fight with Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis. But that fight, I think that's a fight we should have been watching a couple weeks ago or even, a few weeks ago when Boots fought uh, in late October. So I think, for me, I can't really judge Boot at 154. I keep hearing a lot of people saying that, Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing would be Boots and Crawford. Uh, but I don't feel like a lot of people know Boots enough to really I don't know. I think Boots has to fight more. And let's say like Boots and Crawford, right? Everybody's saying that's the biggest fight by at least that's their analyst. Those guys are like, hey, the biggest fight in boxing right now is Boots versus Crawford. But I still don't like. I got to see Boots versus Virgil Ortiz. I got to see Boots versus another big guy at 154 for me to really take him that serious to say, yeah, he's ready to fight a guy at Crawford's level because Boots is 32 fights in, and he's literally fought nobody. Nobody. I can't hear you. I'm not hearing you. I
My
think
bad.
you
My bad.
okay.
30. He's 35 with
35.
32 knockouts.
Yeah. So 35-0, and he's literally fought nobody. Why would we think that he's on the level of Terrence Crawford or that he's the biggest fight? I don't agree with that at all. I know these former boxers, are thinking, but I just don't see that. I think, like I said, let's see what he does against a guy like Virgil Ortiz uh, before we put him on that level because he hasn't fought anybody, even at Virgil Ortiz's level. Like, I
Right.
can't think one guy he's fought that you could have been like, oh man, that dude was tough. Somebody said Stan Onis. I was like, Stan Onis was off for like 3 motherfucking years. And I had forgot about the dude when he finally came back. And then when he did fight before he fought Boots and they just gave him a belt, he didn't look good in that fight. And I knew Boots was going to put him on it. I was like, he wasn't that impressive. But
Well,
for me at 154, what I saw I didn't see the fight, just same thing with the Virgil Ortiz Lubin fight. But I've been watching Virgil for a while. Of course, I've been watching Boots as well. I think I've been watching Virgil a little bit longer. Especially he's been a little bit more active as well. Virgil has within the last year. But I don't know, Virgil. I was more impressed with Virgil's performance than I was with Boots. I guess because of the level that he was fighting. Lubin, I remember Lubin getting knocked out by Charlo, which was a vicious fucking knockout. And you know, he lost in all his big events and stuff like that. But I don't know. I feel like will we get the Virgil versus Boots fight? We're gonna get that early in the year, or do you think? Because I don't know. When you hear uh goddamn Oscar talk, Oscar doesn't talk like that's a fight he's gonna make right now. Like
yeah, don't do it.
but he was also like, oh well, we could do this and we could do like nah, your next fight should be Boots. But at the same time, I get it. Boots doesn't have a title. And if you're Virgil Ortiz and you done went through some of the bigger guys at 154, like Mazurmov, that Barcola guy that knocked him down, but he came back and he ended up winning that fight by a decision. Go in there and you knock Lubin out. Should he say, yeah, I'd love to fight Boots, but what am I fighting Boots for? Boots don't have a title. I don't have a
Either
title.
one of them got a title.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Boots don't have a title. I don't have a title. What are we fighting for? Shouldn't
a
we
big,
both
a
maybe go
big
get a
bag.
circle back around? Yeah, that's basically what you would be fighting for. But here's the same thing. People know Virgil Ortiz, I think, more than they know Boots Ennis. We talked about Boots not really having that
Man, we
name.
need to throw them damn titles in the
Yeah.
trash. We need to throw titles away in boxing. That shit starting not to mean nothing because just because you got a title, that don't like a title. It's like a title, like
Well,
well,
and then we're
exactly what
watching
it is.
guys with the titles not fight anybody. They're fighting everybody who's like, I mean, how the fuck do you fight Cordell Booker in your Fedora? Like, how do you go
That's what
back
I'm
to
saying. The
Zoo?
title shit, the title shit is like I think the title shit is the way to make a motherfucker be able to duck who they should be fighting. To
Yeah.
be honest, because it's like, okay, like you said, you fighting Cordell Booker. All right, so we can say, oh shit, well, Virgil RT should be fighting Boots, but he gonna go ahead and fight Fedor because he got a title. But we ain't even talking about Fedor. I mean, we'd like to see it,
Yeah.
but we ain't talking about Fedor fighting
No. No. And
Virgil Ortiz. We talking about Virgil Ortiz and Boots. That's
yeah.
what we talking about.
Yeah.
So the titles is just like, and then motherfuckers be having these titles, right? They got the titles, but it's like, where the fuck do they be at? Oh, they injured their shoulder. They injured their man. That shit, bro. We barely see the motherfuckers with the titles fighting
Yeah. Yeah. And you got a guy like
for
Xander
real,
Zayas,
bro.
young dude who I like, has a title that I don't, he fought.
Where
They
he
He
been
didn't
fighting?
fight a champion, and he
Uh,
basically was one of those. Hey, this is a vacated belt, and let's put it up against. And they just chose guys like Xander Zayas just because he was young and upcoming, and they wanted to give the
yeah,
shit.
but I'm saying he got a title now, but we ain't heard him in the talks of fighting nobody. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
exactly.
This title shit is like weak. Like I don't really understand this title shit. That title shit, they could throw them bitches away, bro.
Well,
Like
for
for
me, I
real,
just
right?
want to see if you got the title, you should be fighting the number one mandatory. You shouldn't be fighting Keith Thurman. You shouldn't be fighting Tim Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be fighting mandatories, guys who are, Virgil Ortiz should have been lined up and already fought for a title at this fucking point. He's been at the 154 for over a year and he's fought 3 or 4 times in that division. And he hasn't been up for one fucking title fight. Like boxing, you gotta get it together. Cause that he should have already been in a title fight or and hit like he should have had the opportunity to fight for the belt that Xander fought for before Xander fought. Who the fuck is Xander Zayas fought that you would be like, yep, he deserves a fight for a title. Don't get me wrong, the kid's got a lot of talent. He's young and I love what I see from him, but he has done nothing to deserve a title fight,
Okay.
deserve an opportunity to hold a title right now, in my opinion.
All right. And if we don't get the Boost versus Virgil next, we could get the versus Fandora, and then we could get the Boost versus Zion. I let it see that.
Exactly. And then come back around to the
That'd be
Virgil
cool.
fight when they both have a title, and then you talk about a bag, then that bag's going to be even more because now it's not only two big guys fighting each other
Yeah.
in the division, but now both have a title. So exactly, that's an amazing idea. Why not let Boots go after Zayas?
Or I feel like
But I don't
they
think
should have gave
it's
they
easy.
should have gave Keith Thurman Zayas or some shit like that. Get him that test. Not
Yeah,
Fandora, because Fandora kind of already been tested. So get him that. All right, Zayas, you gonna fight Keith Thurman. I would love to see that. You get what I'm saying? Like, get
yeah,
him that test to see if
yeah.
he
And
really,
that would
because
be a good test for Zayas.
yeah,
Then we
right. You see what? Yeah,
because I
yeah.
still see a lot of that. He's got a lot of growing to do, and I think if he went up against Boots or he went up against Virgil Ortiz, he's going to get destroyed by those guys. I don't think he's that level yet. So to give him a title, I think you're almost in a way, you're going to set him up for a fight that he's not ready for just yet. And we talked about developing guys in the right way and all that kind of stuff. And I'm 50-50 with the development thing. I hate the way Top Rank develops their guys. You know what I mean? Like they fucking baby step them. Like I watched fucking what was the name? Torres fight this weekend. The motherfucker wasn't even on the main card. He was on the fucking prelims
Hey, he
fighting.
been with Tom Rank for about 4 years now.
Dude, tell me
Four,
about it.
5 years.
Yeah, and he shows you that hey, he's got the talent that he should be fighting a better level of talent. He was in there against some fucking big ass okey doke dude that once he hit this motherfucker in the nose, right? And then laid a nasty uppercut on him. Pow. And dude was like went back and I guess he broke his nose. And the doctor goes up, and this is like some shit you see off a movie. And the doctor presses his nose. He go, oh, it hurt. Oh, and I'm like, this big dude. Like you saw him coming in, and he was just kind of like, awkward stance, where like
Yeah.
it ain't like that level. But that's where you're putting Torres at right now. And maybe it's the platform because it's Tubi, and when you're not that high up on a card, like it's
I
hard
feel like,
not gonna
not to
pay
cut
you.
you off, I feel like Tiger Johnson competition wasn't shit either. Like
No,
the
because
dude he fought,
we watched I mean they same thing. Who was it? Mason is moving along, and I think he started behind Delonte Johnson. And does he got more fights than Johnson does, Tiger Johnson?
yeah, probably so. And then not only that though, it's his manager too. I think he with Jay Prince too. So it's like that got to do with your manager too, because I think he under Jay Prince as well. Like, and then Jay Prince just signed DB3. So
Okay.
yeah, he they new manager. Plus he's Shakur manager. I think he was Jared Anderson manager. So it's like that play a part in it too. But far as like I can't say they I can't say they babysit because Dula, but I think like I said, this is manager. Dula was moving fast. Like he already fighting for a world title. Torres should have been at least in the conversation. Tiger Johnson should have been like, okay, who he fighting? Ryan Garcia or you know what I'm saying? Because he 147. Then it's like the Bruce Curtin. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man. Like he should have been fighting for a title, been in the mix. Like
Yeah.
he ain't even fighting right now. Like, come on, man. This shit. Like we got fighters on the pause though. Like
Yeah.
this. Like
We'll
like
get to
it's
uh,
back to the how COVID was. Like we ain't even like come on, man. Like I
and we'll
don't
get
know.
to who Shushu should have already been fighting, or and the
Yeah.
like to saw him in this weekend over the guy they put in against Espinoza. He should have been fighting Espinoza, and we'll get to that. But before we get to all that, let's jump back to the Parker versus Wardley fight. This fight, and it happened probably it's been a few weeks ago, but that's the last time before the Boots fight. That was the next fight after we had lost the Pandora versus Thurman fight, and I'd forgotten that Parker and Wardley was on that same Saturday over in the UK. And I don't know if you got an opportunity to watch that one, but that was a pretty good back and forth fight, the whole fight. And of course, uh, Parker got stunned a couple times, but then he come back and he was the one putting the beating on Wardley. And this fight was just kind of back and forth. And then once it hit around the 10th round, Wardley kind of started taking over a little bit, hitting Parker with some heavier shots. Got to the 11th round, and Parker got stunned one time, and then Wardley just started going to town on him, but he wasn't really landing much, and then Parker was kind of covering up, but Parker wasn't punching back, wasn't defending himself, so the ref jumped in and stopped the fight. A lot of people are, man, it's a premature stop, but I saw both sides of what maybe the ref was seeing, that Parker wasn't responding, he wasn't throwing punches back, and he was just kind of in the defensive mode. And the shots that Wardley was throwing, he wasn't really connecting on Parker, but Parker wasn't defending himself. So I could kind of see where the ref kind of jumped in and said, all right, you're not defending yourself. He's out on his feet. Instead of letting him get knocked out, let's call this fight, which gave Wardley the fight, and the fight that he was kind of losing. If it had went to the decision, he might have lost it on decision. Wardley might have. But when it was all said and done, Parker didn't just lose; it came out 2 weeks ago that he failed
Oh, what's
for
on cocaine?
cocaine in his
Yeah.
system. And we're a big Parker fan. And Parker's like, look, man, I didn't have cocaine in my system, blah, 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 whatever. And we know sometimes B tests do get diluted or, they're wrong, but very rarely is the B side sample wrong on a test. But if he was, it's like, man, that's got to suck. I don't know what it will do to him or what it'll set his career back. I would have liked to see him and Wardley run it back one more time because I was impressed. You were impressed, same as I was, with what Parker had previously done in his last 3 fights. It would have been an opportunity for him to fight Usyk, but that came to fruition. Now his manager and everybody's like, we don't know what's going on. We'll talk to Joseph to find out, everything. We're going to get down to the bottom of it. But do you think this is something that hurts Parker if he does come back? That once he redoes a sample and the A sample comes back, that hey, yeah, he failed for cocaine. Do you think that would be like, hey, kind of not a smart decision going into a boxing match to be on cocaine? Smoking some reefer is one thing, but snorting coke, like I don't know, man. I don't
Nah, I don't feel like.
know. I've
Oh,
never.
oh shit! I don't feel like it's gonna hurt him a little. I mean, it already didn't already hurt him because he took that L, so he ain't even about to get that title shot. So it don't matter now if he would have won on cocaine, then that'd have been a different
Yeah,
story. But he already lost, so it's like you already fucked your opportunity up for a title anyway. So it's
yeah,
like,
yeah, and they didn't want to give him a title fight anyways because I don't think
mm,
they're not really sold on him being a top heavyweight. Even over there in Saudi Arabia, Turkey Al Sheikh really wasn't willing to give him that. He was like, yeah, I want to pay for a fight, but not Parker versus Usyk. I don't see that being a good fight. And one sided. I don't see Wardley. Wardley's not going to be a good fight against Usyk either. Right
right,
now, Usyk's way above everybody else, and I don't really know who would be a good fight for him at this point. I say you let somebody like Moses Atamu develop more and fight some of these guys like Wardley, some of these bigger name guys, see where he's at within a year, 2 years, and then Usyk might have a good challenger on his hand because I really like Moses Atamu a lot at the heavyweight position out of the UK. I think he's got a lot of talent, but outside of him, there's really nobody that's going to give Usyk a fight, in my opinion, that's going to be worth watching. Especially Wardley. Wardley's not. He's a heavy puncher, but he doesn't really have boxing skills.
yeah.
So he's
I
going to get.
seen the little highlights. It ain't like he's just
Yeah,
one of them big motherfuckers.
yeah.
That's it.
He'll get eaten up by Usyk. Usyk will fucking box his ears off, in my opinion. Uh, but yeah, that fight, I thought it was a good fight. It was a banger. I was kind of disappointed when Wardley got that one. I was like, man, I thought they premature stopped it. But like I said, I saw both sides of what the ref might have been seeing himself. Hey, this guy's not defending himself, and this guy's just going off on him. So, but I thought with the way the fight was also back and forth, that the ref could have been a little less hesitant to call the fight because we watched that happen in the early rounds when Parker got stunned by Wardley, and then we watched Parker stunned Wardley and had Wardley on the back ropes, and it didn't look like he was protecting himself much. But they both kind of kept going back and forth like that. Each round, you really didn't know it was who was going to land that first big punch,
Right.
in every round. And that's kind of what it was. Is just one guy was landing a heavy punch in each round and stunning the other guy. So it was a lot of back and forth. So I don't know. I think they should have let it go all 12 rounds because I think Parker might have been able to maybe rest, pull back out, and then if it would have went to decision, he might have been able to eke out a decision. I don't know with Wardley kind of taking that 10th, 11th round the way he did. If he would have went in there the 12th round the same way, he might have. You know how it is. A championship round sometimes determines the fight. You can forget about those early rounds when you see guys
Uh-huh.
later in the round. So I thought it was a good fight. I'd like to see him run it back regardless if it's cocaine or not. What I mean, suspension, run that fight back with those two. Good heavyweight fight, two big guys just beating on each other. That's the type of
For
fight I
him to
enjoy.
get that fight back, he should say, "Yeah, I was on cocaine. I was going through some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
I'm trying
exactly.
to get the rematch."
Yeah, if I'm healthy, because he came in heavy too. I noticed that with him. I was like, the last couple of fights I saw Parker and he was in better shape. He came in a little
Yeah,
bit heavy in this fight, and then you saw it around the 7th, 8th round, he really started to, he's breathing really heavy. Wasn't looking that great in his corner, just his breathing. Sitting down,
Yeah,
bell would ring. He wasn't up right away. So I did see maybe that his weight might have gotten the better of him at the end of the day with Wardley. And then, the later rounds, Wardley started to come along even more. But wasn't a bad fight. I did enjoy it. But yeah. And then, like I said, we watched the Virgil Ortiz Lubin fight. It wasn't much to really talk about besides, Ortiz just made it look simple, beat the brakes off of Lubin, came around. Beautiful over the top punch when he had him on the ropes. Came over the top. And that's one thing I think I was impressed with Ortiz. I think he knew he had him in the first round. I think he knew he kind of figured this guy out. And when I saw him having because Lubin was putting that high guard, was going to try
yeah,
to play rope a dope. I think that's what he was going to try to do. Is I'm going to try to play some rope a dope. And Ortiz was like, "No, you're not." And was just kind of coming right around that guard, and that's where he
yeah.
connected with him. Man, he just literally come around that, boom, and just connected with him right here. And then you kind of seen Lubin step back a little bit, and then he hit him with a fucking uppercut that just slept him. He kind of slept, and then he went back on the rope. I was like, "Oh, he's out. He's out." And then
Mm.
I jumped in to stop the fight. But yeah, that was a great fight. I was impressed with Virgil Ortiz. Hopefully, we're going to get
That
to
was
see.
a great fight for Virgil.
It was a good fight for Virgil. Yeah, it was a great
Yeah,
fight for the fans, of course. Nothing spectacular for us as fans. But I thought, okay, that was a good showing for our, Virgil,
yeah.
especially to say, hey, yeah, I'm definitely ready for, you know,
Hmm.
a guy like Boots Ennis. And like I said, I feel like boxing wasted our time. We should have had the Ortiz and fucking Boots fight. There shouldn't have been. I mean, Boots wastes his time with dudes with a guy he knew he was going to run out the fucking gym.
This should make it, yeah, this should make a good fight. One got their fighter out in the first, one got their fighter out in the second. So it
Yeah,
should be a build up for them to fight next.
yeah. I think they should. I think that's the fight we should have been watching. Just last weekend or the week before when Boots fought. Is I really do. I just think boxing sometimes wastes your time with fights that like I knew with Lubin's
Yeah, I
history.
wasn't even about to watch that Boost fight. Like, I'm tired of
Yeah,
him fighting.
good fight.
He got
Yeah.
35 fights. I don't know. I can't name one motherfucker you fought, bro. It's
No, no.
crazy.
The only
And,
guy,
and if I do name Stan Onis, it's like, okay, I named Stan Onis. I don't know that motherfucker. Like,
no,
so,
and Sandonis is really like I said, where he was the guy that was going to fight. The only thing I really knew about Sandonis, I watched him one time when he first started coming up, and then he got the opportunity to where he was going to be able to fight Virgil Ortiz, and then Virgil got sick, and then he was supposed to fight Virgil again. Virgil got sick again, and that fight didn't happen. Uh, and then that's the only thing I knew about Sanonis. And then he didn't fight for like 3 years after. And I was like, what the fuck happened that he didn't fight? Like he wasn't Virgil Ortiz was the one that got injured, not him. So it didn't really make sense that he took that much time off being a young guy like he was. But
right,
then when he got Boots, it just showed that he's not even on that level. He just kind of wasted everybody's time.
right.
But yeah, and then you had this weekend, Chris Eubanks Jr. We talked about that one a little bit. We hit on it just a little bit on what we saw in that one. A drained Chris Eubanks, 38, older guy, and a rejuvenated Ben. And you can't take much away from Ben on the fight. He looked spectacular, but we'll see what Ben does if he competes with some of the other talent at 154, if he goes back down to 147. Then I caught the Espinoza versus Kegia fight. I guess that's the guy's name. Khegai. 5'5", little Asian guy. And we know Espinoza is like 6'1", fights at the 130. Shushu versus him. That would be a good fight for top rank to make, in my opinion, for Espinoza. But this fight was kind of scary because dude was just the Kian guy was just he was taking an ass whoop.
Yeah,
And his corner wasn't doing him any justice. His corner wasn't helping him. At one point I heard the guy in his corner say, "You could win this fight on points." It's probably about the 5th round, and I'm like, "The fuck would you tell your guy that he can't win this fight on points? He ain't winning the points right now. He ain't won a round. What do you mean you could
right.
win this fight on points?" And at this point, it got to the 6th, 7th round, and then his face just started looking horrible. I mean, he's just taking an ass whooping. The size,
Yeah.
he had no chance in this fight. For me, the refs didn't do any justice by not stopping the fight. The doctor didn't do any justice by stopping this fight. And this corner did him an injustice by not stopping this fight. I mean, his fucking eye was closed on this side. I mean, it looked like his whole face was just knotted up. You know what I mean? At some point, you got to protect your fighter. Maybe they would. And even I think it was the 8th round. He looked at his corner guy, said, "You got one more round to show me what you can do. And if you don't show me anything, I'm taking you out." And then he went out in that round and got his fucking ass whooped too. And he come back in the 9th round. They sent him back out there in the 10th round to get his ass. And then the 11th round, and finally they stopped it. He didn't come out. Basically, the doctor said, no, he can't continue this fight going into the 11th round. But they let it go 11 rounds of this guy just getting his ass kicked. And of course, Espinoza just doing what he does. He can't. You're in there in a box. You know what I mean? You're not trying to hurt the guy, but if they're going to continue to let him fight, then you're going to fight him. But for me, I'd love to see Espinoza with his size. The fight I really want to see for Espinoza is him. I know Espinoza's 130 or 126, if I'm right, actually. Shushu Keratin would be a great fight for him. But with his size, I'd love to see him up against my guy, Navarrete, at the 130 because they both are tall, lengthy guys. And I'd just love to see how that fight would turn out between two taller guys like that in a smaller division like the 126, 130. That size, I think that would make an excellent fucking fight. I think Shushu would be a good fight for him because Shushu can get on the inside. And Espinoza reminds me a lot of a smaller Fedora. You know what I mean? Like tall, lanky motherfucker like he is. But he likes to bang it out. If you want to fight him, he'll get in there and fight with you. And a guy like Shushu, if he can get inside and land some uppercuts or good punches on the inside, he would have an opportunity against a guy like Espinoza. But I think really that right now with Fulton and Foster fighting, I think it's Nunez and Navarrete fighting. Really, the only fight you can make for him. Nick Ball's got a fight coming up. Raymond Ford's got a fight coming up. The only fight you can really make for him is Shushu. And Shushu said he would like to have that fight. He's kind of sitting on the sidelines right now with Top Rank. He's ready to fight, and I think that would be a good fight to put Shushu in at the beginning of the year with him and Espinoza. Give Shushu an opportunity for a big fight, Yeah. Okay, now I want to move into what we got going on this weekend, my guy. Justin, man, we've been waiting, I think for this card for a while, but, because with the Fedora fight being canceled, there was going to be Fulton versus Foster on that one. That was actually moved to, that fight got moved to the Roach.
Roach. Yeah.
Got moved to that fight, which I was glad to see that fight continue and get moved to another card and just not to the side. And then we never saw that fight. So super hyped that they did continue that fight. But then, this weekend, I mean, look at this card, man. You got David Benavidez versus David. The main card is going to be Benavidez versus Yard. And that fight may be the least exciting fight on this card, to be honest with you. I mean, you got Brian versus Devin. We know that's going to be a good one. Abdullah Mason is finally going to get a really good challenge versus Sam Nokes. Of course, you got Bam Rodriguez versus Fernando Martinez on there. And then you also got Better Beeve is on that card as well. So, I mean, just a stacked card this weekend. Let's start with my favorite fighter, Bam Rodriguez, going up against Fernando Martinez. This is going to be a good fight for him and give him an opportunity to unify or fight for a unified division. Once he wins this fight, then he could get the IBF champion. I can't remember what his name is. Get an opportunity to fight the IBF champion. I think that's going to be a good fight. God, I'm a huge fan of Bam. Always excited to see him fight. But what's your thoughts? What do you think, Abdullah Mason? I think this is the most exciting fight on the card that I look kind of most forward to, honestly, Abdullah Mason, just because he's fighting somebody that's a step up. Do you think he's going to come in this weekend ready to showcase, really make a name for himself? Because when they ask all the other boxers the fight they're looking for, a lot of them are saying Mason. Even Benavidez, he said, "Man, I really want to see Mason. That's who I've been looking forward to seeing fight." So, do you think Mason comes out this week ready for I hope he's not overlooking Sam Nokies because he's a pretty good fighter out of the UK.
Nah, he too humble. He ain't overlooking nobody.
Yeah,
That's one thing he ain't gonna do. He you in front of him, he ain't overlooking. Trust me, he ain't overlooking nobody. But this it right here. So I hope, man, I know what he can do. It might be an early night for dude, bro. For real.
yeah.
Like, cause he been, you know how we was seeing him back to back. We ain't seen him back to back how we usually do. It's still like his second fight or third fight of this year, but
Might be a this year.
we ain't seen him back to back though.
Not
It,
like
it's
he was last
it,
year.
it's too much. It done gave him too much time to work on his errors. Like I
Yeah,
felt like when it was back to back, he was just going. He wasn't
yeah,
able to fix even his smallest mistakes. I think this he been able to uh fix his smallest mistakes. He ain't got to come in so fast right now. He could box and then turn it up like so. I think he gonna be straight, man. I ain't really hit to his the opponent he facing. I heard he hit hard, but hey, it's boxing. A lot of people hit hard, some people don't. But
yeah, yeah,
the skill set might just be this little dude skill set is beyond the measure. Like
yeah.
I gotta see he gotta win this right
Now, if he
here.
goes in here and he absolutely dominates this guy, Sam Nokies, makes it look easy. Should he step up to like an Andy Cruz or even, Kid
Shit,
Austin?
they gonna have to fight somebody, bro. They
Yeah,
still they still they still behind they still behind, man. Them guys ain't fought. Kid Austin having injuries and we still ain't seen like okay, we seen you beat Tevin Farmer. Boo, then you were gonna fight JoJo Diaz next. That's not like no,
no,
bro. We gotta see something, bro. Like he would beat the fuck out of Kid Austin, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. He will beat the fuck out of Kid Austin. Like it'd be on paper, yeah, it's a good fight, but I don't think Kid Austin, cause and I say this is because we never seen a dude like just take a step back. He always been going forward and forward. Like, why would you fight JoJo Diaz? Like, I don't. Abdullah Mason wouldn't dare fight no goddamn JoJo Diaz. You know what I mean? He
yeah,
probably would have. He probably would have after on his little spurts, like
like
before this title
here and
fight. But
or so. Yeah, he would have probably fought him. Just
yeah,
it's a step up fight, but he would have been knowing it was a step up fight. He wouldn't have went fought
yeah,
Kevin Farmer and then went back to JoJo Diaz.
yeah,
Done that.
yeah,
I didn't understand that with Kid Austin. Then he got hurt. That doesn't help his that the fact that nobody was sold on the JoJo Diaz fight as it was. At least I
yeah.
wasn't for sure. Like
He should have been trying to fight Andy Cruz or something.
that's what I felt. Or Murtala, or even a Zapata. Like you want to put yourself in the Shakur conversation,
Yeah,
like Zapata. He's there. Uh, I mean, hell, they even got the Burkachu or but the guy's name starts with a B, the one that beat Navarrete. You could have went and fought him. He would have been a step up for him, even though I think Kid Austin would have beat him, but still, that would have been a better fight than going all the way back to JoJo Diaz. Uh,
right.
but yeah, I mean, this card, man, it's got me super excited. It's going to be, it's over in the, yeah, this shit starts early, 11 a.m. on Saturday.
11 a.m.
Yeah, which is probably going to be a lot of prelims. They're probably going to have a
Yeah.
couple
What
prelims.
time the main card start though? I
I would
knew that
say
shit was gonna start
like
early,
2
man.
o'clock. 2 o'clock.
I knew that shit was gonna start early,
Yeah, because
bro.
it's
I
over in
knew it.
Saudi Arabia, if I'm right. Is it over in Saudi
Yeah,
Arabia?
somewhere over there.
Yeah, so
Rios.
I knew it was going to be early, but I see here on the time it says 11 a.m. start time, which I'm thinking, of course, that's going to be the prelims, and you're probably going to start getting the main card around 2 o'clock is
Two
when your
or
main
four.
card. Yeah,
I think
around.
2 or 4.
I think two, maybe earlier. Hopefully, sometimes you start getting that shit at 12 or 1 o'clock when it's over in the UK and Saudi Arabia. You start getting those early fights on there. I'll have to have my phone on. I won't get out of work till 2:30. So hopefully they don't start the main card till about 2, so I don't miss Bam or some of the bigger fights that are on there.
Yeah, I definitely want to see Bam.
Yeah, I definitely got to see Bam,
I'm looking
man.
for Bam. I'm looking for Bam. I'm looking for all of them, but in my order, I'm looking for Brian Norman, Devin Haney, Abdullah Mason. I'm looking for David like last. Like I don't know why, but his fight ain't who I want to see. So it'll be I'm looking for Brian Norman, Devin Haney, Abdullah Mason,
Keep
Bam,
who Better
and
Beavis
then
fight. He's fighting somebody
I
pretty decent too. Better Beav is. I want to see him. Just I like Better Beav. I like him as a fighter, man. Especially he can be dangerous, bro. Like he definitely.
yeah.
Uh,
I ain't looking for him though. Like I
yeah,
mean, I want to see him fight, but I ain't really
fight.
looking forward to him.
Yeah, I think that
Like,
might
cause
actually start the card. The Better
like
Beav.
even though I ain't even hit to the dude Benavidez fighting, I ain't hit to the dude Bam fighting, but I want to see Bam though.
I like
Like,
Martinez. Martinez is going to be a good fight for him, man. Martinez is one who beat Aoki. I think it was Aoki. That's who Bam would have probably been fighting in this fight. That's who Bam originally wanted next, and then Martinez went in there and beat that dude Aoki in Japan, beat him. So
mhm.
yeah, I think Martinez would be a good fight for Bam, a good opportunity. I just love watching Bam fight. I don't know if
Bam a
anybody
bad
really give him
motherfucker.
a proper fight, but Martinez should go in and make it competitive. In my opinion, I think it might be more competitive than what I'm actually expecting because I just have those high hopes for Bam and know that
Mhm.
man when he's on, it's hard to fucking even touch this guy when
Hey,
he's
and I ain't know. I guess Robert Garcia had Bam and Virgil since they was kids.
yeah.
Did
Him
you
and
did you
Virgil,
see that? Did you see that picture? I'm
yeah,
like, damn.
yeah, they were like at the nationals together as kids and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I ain't know that. I mean, I ain't know he was I think I had found out he was Bam coach a couple fights ago, but I didn't know he was Virgil. I think I did. Ain't he the other motherfucker coach too? What's his name? Mata, the dude you be mentioning at
uh,
135.
uh,
Matala? What is his
oh
name?
yeah,
Yeah,
Murtala. Yeah,
he
yeah. I
is
think
coach too.
yeah, he's Robert
Right.
Garcia. The whole
See
thing
a
they
bad motherfucker. Robert
yeah,
Garcia a bad motherfucker, man.
he's got
He
a
got
lot of fighters, man. And he wasn't at Bam's last fight because they were talking about that because he had another fighter fighting that night, or he had a big like two big guys fighting at the same time, and I can't remember their name. I know Bam was one of them, and he wasn't
yeah.
there. One of them in the corner, and his brother steps
I
in.
think his brother or his son or some shit was there. Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
then he steps
yeah,
in, does it for him when he's got to go fight. But he's got a lot of fucking fighters under his
yeah.
stable, a lot more than what I think people realize. Got his hands full, man. I don't know how he does it, with all these guys. But yeah, of course that fight. Excited, hoping I'm not at work. I'm hoping they start this card at 2 o'clock, and
He
that
a
way,
good ass coach, man.
because I'm gonna
I
be
wonder
doing.
why some black guys don't go train with him. That be throwing me off. That be
They
throwing me
were
for a
talking
loop,
about
man.
that. They were talking about that. Like a lot of Mexican trainers don't train black fighters, and a lot of black trainers won't train
No,
Mexican.
saying Mexican. Yeah, that shit throw me for a loop.
Yeah, because if you look at Canelo's camp, there's not really any black fighters in his
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So it's like they separate themselves as far as like not trying to train each other or something. I don't really get the beef about it, but uh,
yeah,
I think the one place you probably see more of it would be New York. New York's just pretty
yeah,
diversified, so I think you get all kinds white trainers, black trainers, Spanish trainers, Asian trainers up
yeah.
there, and they just train whoever walks in the gym and is interested. Uh, but yeah, that card tomorrow, man, it's going to be a good card. Got an early start. It will be on the zone. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if this one's free or pay per view. It doesn't say that it's a pay per view. So I'm taking it as if you got a DAZN subscription that you get this fight for free
Free.
tomorrow.
Didn't you say it was free? You said
Yeah,
the next fight was
sure.
gonna be free.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is because it doesn't say. anything about pay-per-view on here. It just says Saturday, November 22nd, 11 a.m. It's going to be on DAZN. It doesn't say DAZN pay-per-view or anything like that. So this fight should be free. I mean, hell of a card to give to people for free. Not really free if you got a DAZN subscription. That shit costs like $30. But not really free, but cheaper than what you would pay for probably a pay-per-view, shit like that. So yeah, this card makes me, I would get a DAZN subscription just for this card, to be honest,
Hell yeah.
because that's a deep ass card. Uh, yeah, I expect David Benavidez is going to just. I think he runs through Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard's out of the UK. I don't know a whole lot about him either. I've heard the name. I don't think I've really, and if I have watched him fight, he didn't stick to me. He didn't stick in my mind. If I did watch him fight, nobody that I was super impressed with. But like Benavidez said, when they asked, who wanted to fight him, Yard was the only guy that stepped up and said, "I'll take the fight." So he said,
Right.
"All right, and I'll fight this dude," because he's the only one stepping up at the time to say he'll fight him. A lot of people ask why he wasn't fighting Better Beeve on this card. And like I told a lot of people, one, Better Beeve was in contract to fight Bivol for a third fight before
Hmm.
Bivol hurt his shoulder. And when the Yard versus Benavidez fight was made, Better Beeve was already was supposedly going to be fighting Bivol in like October or November of this year. So before that
Hmm.
fell, Benavidez had already signed on to fight Yard. Then they put Better Beeve on that card after the Bivol fight fell through. Then they put him on. They added him to the Benavidez card. So that's why you're pretty much not getting the Better Beeve versus Benavidez fight, which I don't know if Better Beeve would have taken that because I think he still wants to fight Bivol for a third time. And then even Benavidez mentioned because they were like, well, will we see you versus Better Beeve going into 2026? And he's like, well, I think he's still supposed to fight Bivol for a third fight. So pretty much I'll fight the winner of that. But he also talked about if he was challenged at cruiserweight, that because who was it? Oscar De La Hoya said, why not have him fight goddamn Ramirez, Risotto Ramirez, big dude at cruiserweight who's been ducking Jai Petit for a really long time. And he said, yeah, I would possibly go up to fight him just to get the opportunity to fight a guy like Jai Petit. So, plenty of opportunities there for him. And he also said that, he been talking a lot about Canelo. He really salty that Crawford got that Canelo fight.
Yeah.
He did, man. I think
He
he really,
said that what's his name? Uh what the fuck is dude name, man? The
which one?
the promoter dude.
David Benavidez Sr.?
No, no, the promoter dude. The one that's from Saudi.
Oh, Turkey Al
Turkey.
Sheikh. Yeah,
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 Turkey. He said Turkey told him if when Canelo beat Crawford, he was gonna get in the fight. So I guess Turkey thought that Canelo was gonna beat Crawford. And I kinda can look at when that night he won, I swear I kinda was looking like, man, I think he thought Canelo was really gonna beat Crawford. I swear. I was thinking that in my head. Like I think his face was looking like, man, this motherfucker just beat him. I
yeah.
swear. That's
And
how he was looking
yeah,
at me.
and that's because Turkey didn't know about Crawford like we did. They didn't know. Like when Crawford takes a fight like Canelo, the way he took it, and I told you going in, I said this motherfucker knows he can beat him. He saw something that tells me I can beat Canelo. He knew that. That's why he didn't hesitate to jump up 3 weight classes
Hmm.
to fight. He said, "You give me an opportunity." I said he thanked. Who he said put it in his head. Forgot who he
Bill
said.
Hannon. Bill Hannon.
Yeah, and he said he put it in his head like 3 years ago. Like, why not Canelo? And he was like, Canelo. And then he said he went back, started watching Canelo, and he was like, I can beat this dude. And he said,
Hmm.
then you started noticing him at Canelo fights, sitting in the crowd and kind of just observing Canelo. And he said he knew he could beat him then. He's like, I knew I could beat him. So when he brought that up,
Hmm.
it kind of stuck in his head. Yeah, why the fuck not fight a guy like Canelo? I think I can beat him. But yeah, we'll see if that fight two happens. I think if we see a second fight, I think Crawford dominates him even more. I just think it's not even close in the second fight. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, Canelo's a great fighter. He's a legendary fighter. I know he's not going to come in and do the same thing. He's probably going to come in with more energy, more movement, move around a little bit more, whatever. Maybe even drop a little bit of weight so that he can move at a more better speed. But I just think a guy like Terrence is on a whole nother level, man. I think we see the same results. That's why I'd like to see Terrence just go unify the 160, make even more history with a fourth unified division, and go out as one of the greatest to ever box. At the end of the day, you don't need to beat Canelo twice. You don't need that on your resume. 4-time unified division champion. That looks a lot better than I beat Canelo twice. So,
shit.
yep. But yeah, man, I don't have a whole lot of news outside of that. Any other news that you can think of? Something that I might have skipped? Something that I might have
No,
lost
I
track
think
of?
I gave you the news with DB3 brothers
Yeah,
going with Jay Prince. So not really, but you didn't tell me before we leave who you got, Devin Haney or Brian Norman.
to be honest with you, man, Haney's chin is suspect, bro. Haney's chin is suspect, and if he tries to make it a fight, I think Brian Norman's gonna knock him the fuck out. Norman
I
has,
just think Brian Norman better than what people say.
I
And
think
he
he is
young.
too. He is
And he
too.
young though. It ain't like he 27. He a 23-year-old.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
he carry himself like a 28, 30-year-old, but dude is only 23. He young.
yeah,
He still
yeah.
got,
I
you know
think
what I'm
people are
saying?
sleeping on
And
him.
then I think this fight right here, if he do beat Devin, gonna give him so he gonna become so much better.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it
you know what I'm
propels him.
saying?
It's really going to help his career. This is the kind of fight he needs.
I
And
want I want him to win, man. I
Devin's
want
got to show
Brian to win.
me. Devin's got to show me he could take a punch against a big puncher, and then I'll believe he can win a big fight like that. He didn't show that against Ryan Garcia, and even with the steroid thing with Ryan, like you said, you still can't get hit by that. Like you still get hit by the left all day, every day. So, um,
And I think they gonna come at him because they know his punches don't hurt. So
yeah,
I know Brian Norman gonna basically probably try to stalk him down and make
yeah,
him fight him. Like cut off the ring. All that running around, he ain't about to be you when you fighting a puncher like him, it's only so long where you could just be moving and grooving unless he fighting your style.
yeah,
And I don't think he going in there to fight your style. Once he feel like, man, oh yeah, he can't punch, then we'll
yeah,
see. But yeah, we gonna see tomorrow today. I can't
yeah.
wait.
Yep, because I'm gonna go with Norman on that one, man. Like I said, I just don't. Haney doesn't have
I
the
wanna
chin.
I wanna go I wanna go with Norman just cause I really don't fuck with that man. I
Well,
ain't
I
gonna lie.
liked Haney. I was a fan of Haney's, man, and I
I
saw him.
was once upon a time I was cool, but just
Yeah,
him and how they just be talking and shit, I really don't. They don't like giving nobody credit. Like I don't like that shit. Like who he fought, what he done. Like, bro, I ain't trying to hear
yeah.
this is
His
boxing,
biggest
bitch.
fight was against Lomachenko, and I thought he won that fight. I definitely did. I thought he fought a fantastic fight
You
against Lomachenko. I loved
I
it.
thought he won. I thought he won that motherfucker too. That's what's
Yeah,
so crazy. I really thought he beat Loma. I seen
yeah.
him going to Loma body all that. I literally think
Nobody
he
was
beat
going to
Loma.
Loma's body. Nobody was going to
Yeah,
Loma before that. Nobody. He did something
yeah.
else. I thought he fought a beautiful fight. That fight against him, and I was a fan of him before that. With but the one fight that I saw him on the zone, again, he wasn't a big fighter he was against, and like a fourth or fifth round of the fight, and that's when I noticed he kind of had a hesitant chin. Dude caught him for the
Oh,
ground.
when he fought what's his name? When he hit him and he kind of
Yeah,
wobbled back.
to the
Yeah,
corner.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, "Oh, he got a little suspect. His chin ain't been tested like that because he doesn't get hit a lot." So that I mean,
Mhm.
Norman does. I mean, when he's on top of his game, Haney, you can't take away. He is a great fighter. I just think Norman's gonna connect at some point. You're not gonna stop him, and I think Norman has the power that a lot
He
of people
got
are.
power in both hands.
Yeah, and he's got that power that people are overlooking and not putting it as an aspect. And I think he's being overlooked, and I think he's gonna he's going to showcase who he is in this fight. The world's going to finally figure out who Brian Norman is.
Hmm.
And he's going to be that 147 guy when this is done. I think he's going to be the guy at 147. But yeah,
Hmm.
of course, I'm taking my guy Bam. I'm going to take Benavidez, of course, in that
Yep.
fight against Card.
Bam, Benavidez,
I'm never going
Mason,
against our boy
going
Mason.
Norman,
I'm riding with Mason, and I'm going to
going
go with
Norman.
Beeve. Better Beeve in his fight. Pretty much all the favorites I'm going to go for. I mean, because besides, I think Haney might be the favorite. I'm not going with Haney. I'm going with Norman, who might
No,
be the under.
I think they said Norman, Devin Haney, the underdog.
Okay, okay. So Haney's the
Hmm.
underdog. So I guess I am going with the favorite of Norman in that. But yeah, it should be a great, great card. I look forward to it, man. Like I said, guys, it's gonna be 11 a.m. start time. Probably a lot of good prelim fights. Hopefully, we get some good young guys we can see on some of these prelims, and they draw it out to about 2 o'clock, 2:30 when I get off work, so I don't miss any of these big fights on this card, man. But this is kind of gonna lead us into a pretty good, you know, the rest of this month going into December. Not a bad looking month for boxing, man. I kind of got me looking forward to what's coming. We lost some fights this year, but I think, like I said, it's not going to be too bad. End of the year, I mean, who else we got this year coming in? Maybe I'm
Foster.
Foster. Yeah, they're going to be on that. You're gonna the. I think the next big fight won't be till December, really.
Yeah, it
I
won't be
think,
till December. I
yeah,
think
because
they
it's going
fight
to be.
December 4th though. So this
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
back action. Yeah, back to back action.
Yep. So yeah, yeah. So it might be a pretty much lame rest of this month. Well, you got Ja Petit going to be fighting December 6th. So yeah, we're going to be waiting till December 6th because you got both of those guys fighting Saturday. Isaac Cruz versus Lamont Roach, which has got a pretty good. You got Lara going up against Janabek in that one. That could set up Crawford and Janabek for 2026. In my opinion, you got Jesus Ramos going up against Shane Mosley Jr. on that. Frank Martin is back on after not seeing him for over a year, a little bit longer. And it's been over
2 years.
2 years for
2 years.
Frank. But yeah, he's coming back against Bartholomew. He'll be fighting him. Of course, no Shockey Foster versus Stephen Fulton on that one. But yeah, let's see the rest of the year. I thought Inouye was going to be fighting before the year was over in December. He usually fights right before the end of December. Kind of ends the year. I thought he did last year. End of the year for boxing. But yeah, of course, you got the Jake Paul fight. Let's see what kind of card they put together for that one. Hopefully, they put together a good card. That's going to be on Netflix. Yeah, of course, Inouye does fight December 27th. Like I said, he usually ends the year for boxing as like one of the big fights. But you got Subaru Mateus versus Dalton Smith. No, that's not
Yeah,
till
I just seen that.
January fights on there. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be in a way ending the year for us. But yeah, this is gonna be. I mean, you got to stack this card tomorrow up against almost any of the big cards this year, and we've had some pretty stacked cards this year. And I think this one's got to be one of the most stacked cards that you're going to get. Hopefully,
Hmm.
it lives up to the reputation that it has, and we get some really extremely good fights tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, that's it for us on Bourbon and Boxing. What is this? Episode 112, something like that. I lost a little bit of track. 112, maybe 113. I think we're on episode 112, guys. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Bourbon and Boxing. I'm gonna let my guy Spade tell you guys what you need to do to support our podcast, baby.
Y'all already know, man. I ain't gotta keep saying this shit. Y'all see Mike Tyson in the background, straight punch your ass out of here. But but nah, like, subscribe, comment. You already know. Show us some love. Continue watching us, listening, however you do it. You know what I'm saying? Bourbon and boxing. We always here. I don't like saying we back, but we always here. We might take a
Yeah,
break, but everybody takes a break, man. So you already know. Let's get it. We on. We gon' hopefully we do a recap
yeah,
soon
yeah.
for these fights.
We cast sooner than later. We're gonna
We
try.
we we most definitely could do it the same night because I'm gonna be up. I mean the same day, especially if the fight's
Yeah,
early. So
that is true. That ain't a bad idea, man. We might be back on here tomorrow with you guys. Later, maybe later that
since
night to recap.
since we've been missing, I feel like we owe y'all that so we could do the recap. I'm
Uh,
telling Jeff right now, y'all.
Let's
So
try.
we don't pop up on here with no recap tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe
It's
we'll do
not
that,
me.
and we'll try to go live on YouTube with the recap and get it on TikTok while we're doing it at the same time. Because I can put my phone over here, put us
That's the
on TikTok
best.
talking about it, try to draw some more
And we could go. I
exposure.
mean, we could definitely go live once you get off with the fights. I'm in the
Yeah.
house all day, most likely.
Yeah,
So
that's true, man. It wouldn't be a bad idea to go live at these fights, man. That is a good idea, man. Kick my feet back, relax after work, watch.
yeah. So what you want to do? Shit, I'm here. Like I said, I'm
We'll,
gonna be in the house.
we'll text a little bit more tomorrow. Figure out. You know what I mean? I think it
All
will be
right.
able to go live with it on YouTube because I got it connected through our StreamYard. All I gotta do is
Okay.
just live stream it. It'll live stream us through YouTube and Facebook, and then I can always do TikTok on the side. Let that kick in and try to get some more exposure on the tick to the top, baby.
That's a bet. That's a
That's
bet.
it. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for another episode. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow we'll see you again. Amazing fight card coming up. It's gonna start early, so you better get up bright and early. Get your coffee, your Irish coffee, whatever you need to get. Get your
Yes,
day,
sir.
your Red Bulls, whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
Get you running in
Uh-huh.
like a boy Spade. He'll
Uh-huh.
probably run 13 miles tomorrow. Come back. You know what I mean? But yeah, kick it in. Join us tomorrow, man. We're gonna try to do a live stream. I like that idea. Maybe go live for the fights for you guys. Thank you guys for
Yes,
joining
sir.
us. And we'll get this episode up on the tube tonight. Ready to rock and roll. You better watch it early in the morning. All right,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Peace.